This year's Anaheim Reads featured Thi Bui's illustrated memoir, The Best We Could Do. Her work depicts the amazing and heart-wrenching story that shares her family's history and their journey to the U.S. after the fall of Saigon, Vietnam in the late 70s. In sharing their immigrant experience, she reveals their stories of joy, sorrow, success, and trauma that shaped and strained their bonds to one another. They were torn down, torn apart, and finally brought together again, but at a great cost to their relationships. Like Bui's family, thousands of Vietnamese families fled after the war and struggled to start a new life in an unfamiliar place. By coming together, they formed communities where they could support one another and preserve their culture and hold on to the memories of the home they lost. One of the biggest and oldest Vietnamese communities in the U.S. is right here in Orange County. It's a community recognized as Little Saigon, which began along a small section of Bolsa Avenue in Westminster, California, but has spread across the city and into neighboring cities. One of the most well-known aspects of Vietnamese culture today is the coffee. Vietnamese iced coffee, or café sữa la, is meant to be enjoyed slowly to allow the ice to melt and dilute the strong coffee and sweeten condensed milk. It's great for sipping on while chatting with friends, enjoying some reading, or exploring new places. Little Saigon is so much more than one of the best places for coffee. It's an amazing place to explore and to learn about Vietnamese history and culture. Nestled near Westminster's Civic Center is Sid Goldstein Freedom Park, where you will find a Vietnam War monument dedicated to those who were prisoners of war or lost their lives in it. Towering bronze statues of an American soldier and a South Vietnamese soldier stand in front of waving flags. A waterfall feature surrounds them, and a flame that stays forever lit. In her book, Thi Bui poignantly writes, "There is no single story of that day, April 30th, 1975. In Vietnam today, among the victors, it is called Liberation Day. Overseas, among expats like my parents, it's remembered as the day we lost our country." Beneath the soldiers is a message in both English and Vietnamese: duty, honor, sacrifice. It is sometimes said that heroes are hard to find. People who understand the meaning of duty, honor, and country need to look no further than those who fight for freedom and democracy. Despite the sorrow refugees endured, they came together in a new country and rebuilt their lives with strength, determination, and resiliency. Immigrants who could speak both Vietnamese and English helped provide access to basic needs like newspapers, stores, supermarkets, and pharmacies by starting businesses on Bolsa Avenue. Serving classic and traditional Vietnamese food became very abundant. Stores that supplied things like altars, bamboo broomsticks, and other items that couldn't be found in American stores were very successful. And herbal medicine shops provided holistic healthcare and remedies when customers weren't able to access doctors in their language. Supermarkets were important as they carried Vietnamese food essentials like rice, fish, and other familiar groceries. One of the very first businesses to open in Little Saigon was Dan's Pharmacy. Dan Quach was the first pharmacist in Little Saigon to fill prescriptions with instructions in Vietnamese, providing a crucial service to the community. Dan's Pharmacy is still operating today and can be found in a small shopping center next to Little Saigon's famous shopping mall. The Asian Garden Mall stands out from the many businesses along Bolsa Avenue. With its sloping roof, tall windows, and spiritual statues, it's a landmark that was developed in 1986 and has since seen hundreds of thousands of visitors from all over the world. More commonly referred to as Phúc Lộc Thọ, or luck, prosperity, longevity, the Vietnamese community enjoys visiting the mall for its familiar atmosphere. It's a place that many imagined what South Vietnam could have been if it had not been lost in the war. The Asian Garden Mall is the largest Vietnamese-owned and operated mall in America, and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. It is home to over 100 shops and restaurants and offers a variety of Vietnamese foods, clothes, jewelry, household items, salons, and entertainment. The Asian Garden Mall is a popular place to go in search for ao yais, or traditional tunic outfits worn for special occasions like weddings, ceremonies, and holidays. Having a source for traditional clothes was crucial to preserving their culture after the war. Ao yais are generally high-collared, long-sleeved tunics with slits cut into the sides and worn with pants underneath. There are many different styles that can be worn by men, women, and children. Over time, the traditional collar made way for more fashionable necklines and sleeves for a more modern look that women wanted. Past the shops and up the stairs and by the tall front windows is a special place for visitors to say prayers to deities for good fortune and health. While there are many temples in Southern California, this addition makes it convenient for visitors who are short on time. One of the most important aspects of Vietnamese culture is Tết, the celebration of the Lunar New Year and welcoming of spring. A special flower market is held in front of the Asian Garden Mall to help families prepare for the new year in purchasing fresh flowers, fruit, clothing, and decorations. Tết is a time for families to come together, pay respects to ancestors, and celebrate a fresh start in the new year. Traditional activities include decorating in red and gold for prosperity and wealth, gifting loved ones with symbols for good luck like red envelopes with money in them called lì xì, hosting big family feasts, visiting friends and relatives, and attending festivals where firecrackers are lit to ward off bad luck and lion dancers amaze with their acrobatic skills. Lunar New Year in Asia usually occurs between the end of January and mid-February. It is commonly recognized in the US as Chinese New Year, but many other cultures celebrate it. In addition to China and Vietnam, it is celebrated widely across Asia in Thailand, Taiwan, Mongolia, Japan, and other countries. Outside of Tết, Vietnamese culture can be experienced year-round throughout Little Saigon and surrounding areas like Garden Grove and even Anaheim. There are many great Vietnamese businesses, stores, and restaurants that we can support. One of the best ways to celebrate a culture is through the appreciation of their food. You may have tried delicious Vietnamese coffee or refreshing spring rolls, but have you enjoyed a bowl of soothing Vietnamese noodle soup called pho? After the war, many pho restaurants were opened by Vietnamese refugees and brought comfort to their communities through this food. Traditional pho is made with a beef-based broth, beef, and rice noodles. One of my favorites is pho Thai, or pho with slices of rare steak. When rare steak is added to the hot broth, it cooks quickly, so don't be alarmed if you find traces of pink. Just submerge the pieces for a little longer. Pho is served with a plate of additional herbs, lime or lemon, peppers, and bean sprouts. Adding these is not required, and you can personalize your soup to your liking. Those from North Vietnam tend to prefer the simplicity of the soup, while those from South Vietnam often like the extra layers of flavor. Beyond pho, there are so many great foods to try, like banh mi, Vietnamese sandwiches, or bun bao, steamed buns with a meatball center. One great place in Anaheim has both, and a specialty called bun ức, featuring rolls of rice noodle sheets stuffed with a uniquely textured mushroom and pork mixture, covered in a tangy sauce and served with Vietnamese pork sausage and fried tofu. The Anaheim Public Library thanks you for participating in the 2022 Anaheim Reads program. We greatly enjoyed learning and celebrating Vietnamese culture through events featuring esteemed speakers, special performances, workshops, presentations, story times, games, films, food demos, and book club discussions on Thi Bui's illustrated memoir, The Best We Could Do. We hope you'll join us for more engaging programs in the future.